And good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Fireside Casts. I'm Eki in the booth with Mario Mans today. Wild Rumpus is not here, and neither was the caster I was supposed to work with earlier today, unfortunately. Underscore on production, and we're going to be coming at you with Uncballin't versus Rats Are Us on Bagel. Koth is always fun to look over in these Newbie Cup games, so I'm pretty excited to see what they're doing. How are you feeling about this one, Mr. Spaghetti and Meatballs?
Spaghetti and meatballs. I'm feeling good. So as far as I've come to terms with it, this is gonna be one of the last of the few matches in the pool. So we're shaping up. This is round 3. Round 4 is when we get to the nitty gritty. So I'm quite excited. Besides this, the Rats Are Us, as I'm seeing on the page, is 3rd seeded against Uncballin't, which is 11th seed. So this is gonna be a very contended match for Uncballin't to really pull out their the inner alpha wolves. I want to say. Now, I have not seen none of these Newbies play, I'm be honest, but I have, coached newbie mixes before for quite some time, shout out to Rogue. And I want to say Bagel has been quite a contented map here. Usually all the cuff maps, the community doesn't really seem to regard for. Bagel, on the other hand, ever since it came to the scene about, say, a few years ago, a lot of people have been very welcome, including myself, to the map. A lot of people are more willing to go for Koth on this, mostly due to the sightlines being restricted, so it gives a lot more players opportunities to not just, try to double bomb the sniper, opposed to the Koth maps product. But, regardless, it's a very even, any class can well. It is also a fragging map, so I want to say my money's on Rats to just truly frag over it, but I'm not the one to count anybody out,
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Bagel and Koth in general is going to be very, very interesting. It's always interesting, like I said earlier, to see these newbies play it, because it's so much different than 5CP. It might as well be like a completely different way of playing. It is, even for like the top level players, but you have a lot of things that transfer over. It's like learning an entirely different language in a way. It just operates completely differently. And when you're a newbie and you have to learn how 5CP works, and then have to learn how Koth works as well, and then you have to make sure that you're keeping in mind the fundamentals of Koth, and you keep those 5CP teachings out of your mind. It's just, it can be pretty overwhelming at times, but I've seen newbies. It takes me back to, I think, Newbie Cup 6, where we just saw an all-out brawl for the point. It went double overtime, where it was bare knuckle boxing, like prime Mike Tyson versus himself in his prime. I mean, it was brutal, but I don't want to keep these teams waiting for too long, so I do want to take a quick look at these rosters. So I'm going to go ahead and go down the roster for Rats Are Us. Your scouts are going to be Cool and the Rat. Your soldiers will be the Throngler. Interesting, powerful name there. The Throngler and Ice Sharks 27 will be your soldiers. Your demo is going to be Avision, or Avisen, and your med will be Donk times 2, or Donk 2x. So that's going to be your roster for Rats Are Us. And just based off the name, the Throngler, I think I'm going to put my money on the Throngler.
Quite a contented name indeed. But yeah, that's what I was for Uncballin't for their roster. They have on Pocket Scout Awesome Guy 1414, the Dredge. Am I saying that? The Dredge? I don't even know what
the Dredge.
The Dredge. I'm sorry. Small on Roamer. On Pocket Soldier, they got Mr. Ito. Mr. Ito. Oh.
I hate to interrupt you here, but I think you're reading off the roster for Goob. I think you're gonna go up one on the spreadsheet.
You are correct. My fault. So it's actually
a little oddly formatted.
Yeah, fun fact, I can't read. Anyways, for Lundaws on Pocket Scout, it's Lundaws on Pocket Scout, it's just lap pronounced laugh on Flank Scout. Apologies everybody, English not my first language, I'm ESL. On Roaming Soldier, you have Mr. Dada, I'm not gonna pronounce the whole name because this is a PG-13 stream, so we're only allowed like two curses per stream. So I'm not trying to abuse that, unlike some casters I know. Evos on Pocket Soldier, generic name brand on demo, and rounded off. I'm sorry, Wibbly
Wobble
on Medic. I'm gonna say
powerful names here tonight.
I remember the names used to be like, I grew up with names like Rampage, or like Dopo, or names like that, Tyrone Wang. But now we got
we come from a time where people are using like their actual names or like some fire name that they like theory crafted for 40 days and 40 nights in like their room. They stewed on it, and then we come in here, these people have names like the Throngler and a Wibbly Wobble, which I mean, these are kind of heat. I can't even lie, these names are kind of fire. But
the newer generation might be on something.
They've got an entirely different naming convention for themselves, which I cannot hate on. But I do want to point out, channel predictions are live, so if you've got some channel points, spare or not, you should throw them at whatever team you think is going to win. And matter of fact, I'm going to get myself in on that right now. Throw 2,500 on Rats Are Us. So if you want to get yourself in on that gambling, get it twisted, you will profit. Get in on that. Throw some channel points in. I'm not sure how long the predictions go. I think they close in about 9 minutes. So you have some time to think about what's going to happen. And I think at this point now, we're just waiting on the teams to go ahead and hit the Ruppington button and go all in on Bagel, because I mean, we're at that stage now. Like you mentioned, it's round 3 of the group stage here, and these teams I think are even in record. I think they're both 1-1. Let me check this here. So Rats played against the Soda Fountain on Metalworks. They got infinite overtime on round 3, so it went 4-1 on Metal for Rats. And their first game they played, they lost against Witness Junior 0-5. And then Uncballin't played against Yellow Beber and lost 0-5 on Metalworks.
What?
And actually Uncballin't won Process 3-0 against Diddy Kong Racing. So these teams have an even record. They're exactly the same with one another. One team I think has more rounds won overall than the other, but I don't really think that matters. Just because, I mean, it's kind of, it's Newbie Cup time, total rounds won doesn't really matter unless it's a team like Witness Gaming Jr. and another team where you have to really analyze, how close they are. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how Bagel's going to turn out given these teams' records, how close they are to one another.
I will say a lot of Bagel, and Bagel is more like if you think about it, it's more like 2CP. Mostly because of the two houses on the side of the point, giving you huge leverage over the opposing team if you have control per se. A lot of that, of course, is the flank being managed, and of course that vision having spotted from both sides. I want to say the biggest, if any team just get control of two houses at this level, I think they pretty much, whoever has the houses wins the game. It's like Game of Thrones with no, that's Harry Potter. No, I'm thinking the wrong series. My fault.
See, you could have said it was Game of Thrones and stuck with it, and I would have believed you because I wouldn't have understood the reference.
Yeah, here's the thing. I haven't watched Game of Thrones ever, so I don't know where I was going with it myself.
You took off and had nowhere to land.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but
it happens.
A lot of that too is bombs are also super detrimental, especially with that commitment from. Let's be honest, from Koth being a scout, generally always going to be favorite. Scouts generally going to have a good time on Koth just because they don't have to cross that much distance, opposed to 5 CP. But in this map as well, there's a couple of high bomb options off the right wall, off the left wall. I think that's it, but
you can high bomb from wood as well. I don't know if that's what you're referencing.
Yeah. I mean, from backdoor to.
Although that isn't really high.
No, it's more like a.
It's just kind of like I'm getting
fade.
in their face and I'm gonna own them. DM bomb.
Yeah, that's a fade bomb. That's a psyche out bomb. But still, I mean, if it looks like some of these soldiers might be. I'm looking at the pregame. A couple of these soldiers can practicing their tier 3s. I'm gonna be honest with you. This might actually be a good match. Actually, this might be exciting.
I think we're gonna see a little bit more soldier presence in this.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I feel like with a lot of newbie games, a lot of them don't understand, or maybe don't realize, rather, for better term, the power that Scout has, his aura, if you will, how much strength he has, how he's able to kind of just walk in front of people and take fights and really just throw everything out as efficiently as possible. But we are live on this first round of Bagel, and as always, I'm looking at these demos. I want to see what their game plan is here, and already good damage coming out from Rats, but Ice Shark, very weak, is going to get killed by Evos here. Actually finds 2 in the form of the Rat and Ice Shark, so this is going to be a very good opening for Uncballin't.
Cool's on fam. Cool's on the force of nature. Well, that won't be enough to stop the aggression coming in, as that's going to be first cap. Taken by Unk.
Yeah, Unk going to be able to get the first cap there. At the very least, Avizan is going to be able to find the pick. I believe it was onto Evos here, so it's not the end of the world. It's not exactly great for them on the side of Rat, but I think they can make things work. Oh, wait a minute. Avizan could die here. Barely saved by the skin of his teeth, but the health for Rats is also very, very bad. They're just trying to bust out through concrete here, and they really need to rotate over and try and get out through lower.
Yeah, no, they just have a forward hole established here. Pipe plants, if you're not familiar with it. 2 soldiers on the left, demo on the right. Well, from the attacker's perspective, makes it really hard to bust the choke here. 4-man would be recommended here. The George Foreman classic play you put out. Send forward your guys beside your scout and manage to go. Try to get that force out, but we suit the... Oh, Ice Shark! Getting that turn on Evos. Thronger coming immediately from behind. Gets another trade on the lap. It's going to be huge stuff. 2 for 2. They could. It's going to be even. Uber's already even out. They could honestly go for
the Throngler taken down. The Throngler's just caught in there. Mr. Dead going to be able to find the free pick on him. He's just caught in that doorway, so there's not a whole lot they can really do there. And we might actually see Ice Shark go down as well. Mr. Dead going to be able to find the 4th pick, and that Uber comes out from Rats Are Us. They're trying to go forward. A little bit of a fail bomb from Avizan, but is going to be able to make some space with it. Nonetheless, could Mr. Dead die? He's 1 HP! No, he's 4, but oh my goodness, I can't believe he lives that. Somehow, some way. Wait, Wibbly Wobble is kind of caught in here, eating a lot of good spam. Could a stray rocket get him? Or get her, rather, but I don't think so. Wibbly Wobble will be able to get out.
I'm going to be laughing the whole entire cast, I'm sorry. Let's see, Ice Shark immediately going ahead and Wibbly Wobble gets the kill as well. A lot of damage.
Good play from Ice Shark there.
Yeah, that's going to have a reset here.
Put him in a big bomb from Mr. Dead. He gets in on the door! Takes him down!
Oh, yeah, trade for trade, band for band. I want to say Wibbly Bobbles. I mean, Uncballin't got that force early off of Rats, but they immediately popped up, made a trade off. We'll get a point here. Time is, of course, of the essence of Koth, so we'll see what happens if they can keep up with this ad as Uncballin't makes their way on the point, but don't have control of the house.
Yeah, they don't have control of either house, so this could be a very good opportunity for Rats Are Us to throw someone in through left house. They really don't have anyone in there. No one's really trying to fight it, but they're putting all their eggs in the basket of right. They're going to be able to find Evos. Ice Shark going to be able to find that pick. Probably going to get picked off. No! Lap gets taken down by Ice Shark as well. That's a 2K, but 2 players down on the side of Rats Are Us as well. Donk is very low, finds the pack, but now his combo is stuck inside of house. Ice Shark going to be able to find a 3rd. That's a late kill onto a scout. So projectiles have free reign to try and jump forward. Nobody can really do anything about them. But I think Rats Are Us trying to buy themselves some time, but Avizan feeds out, doesn't obey that line theory, and will get taken down by Mr. Dead. And looks like Rats Are Us probably just waiting for Avizan here. They're going to have to set up for some kind of push. I don't really think they have the time to commit for some kind of 4-man.
Yeah, no, even Zuber, that best going 20 seconds off the clock, got to exchange. Ice Shark taking out early, might be that dimensional, the Rat's plan, but they're still peeking, they gotta move quick here. Actually, it's gonna be really detrimental if they don't push in soon enough.
Yeah, they need to push now, at least try and bust out through concrete, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to bust out. They're moving forward. They haven't gotten the use out from Wibbly Wobble yet. She is holding onto that Uber for as long as possible, and she's going to use it at the very last moment, standing on top of the point, making sure no one can get on, but they don't notice Ice Shark on Nipple, getting bombed by Mr. Dead. A nice rocket just before out of vision, and that's going to be a pick for them, but it's a full team wipe almost for the side of Rats Are Us. It's just one man alive. It is only, I believe this is the Rat, and trying to get in, but not quite able, and try as they might, Rats Are Us will lose this first round. It's going to be 1-0 in favor of Uncballin't.
Yeah, what seems to be a very, could it be very content for Rats to get in with the early use through left. I want to say if they used to main, they probably could have gotten more time because they had to cross all the way through concrete onto the point with the Uber when they used early. I want to see some more aggressiveness from Rats. I think they can really power here. If you got a guy called a Flongler team, I expect some big damage, right?
Yeah, I expect to see some plays that really make your mind throngle, you know? I expect to see a lot of things that that happen, but unfortunately for Rats Are Us, they are kind of struggling, at least for the time being. Their health is very poor. A lot of players in red or, you know, about half HP, so they have to take their time. They have to bide their time, really. They need to back up and play around their heals. Just let themselves, you know, regroup for a moment. There's no need to get super aggro. Mr. Dead, with the help of Lundaws, is going to be able to find Ice Shark. It is a trade. Mr. Dead will go down. Cool, going to be able to find that pick. But now you really need to bide your time. You need to wait for your soldier to get up because you can't really take this exchange. I mean, you could, but I don't think it would be an advisable decision.
It would be worth it in the meanwhile to wait for your spawner and play the post, but I don't think they're thinking about that. I think they're just more thinking about trying to get this force off cleanly with the spam. With a spam rocket coming in from Ice Shark. Gets the force of Wind Wobbles.
Oh, Evil dies!
Whoa! I didn't even see that. What?
He just got caught. He didn't obey the line theory. He just waddled in through the doorway. A very, very simple mistake that kills so many people, especially in these lower levels that you see it all the time. They waddled in through the doorway and they got caught and they just got killed. They didn't have the Uber there with them, and I think they maybe overcommitted, but the pop came through from Rats Are Us as well. This puts them at about 40 disad if Uncballin't can build properly, and it looks like they're not going to be able to. Enough spam came through the doorway to take down Wibbly Wobble. She is going to have to wait for that respawn clock to go down to be able to build yet again.
Yeah, the self-staggering is going to be a huge time waster on Uncballint's time. They're seeing a little bit of tokens come out.
Oh my goodness.
No! Both these teams, I don't think they understand the respect of line theory. Look, watch the Grape Shoes video. I'm begging you. It's right there.
Just look it up on YouTube.com. The grape juice line theory video, man. You gotta pull it up.
The third, but this is the name.
Third.
Oh yeah, the third.
Don't like, disgrace his name.
There's like 2 other grapes in this community, but I want to say as well, coming up to Uber, both these teams are. I want to notice both these teams on the forward are just letting each other get the Uber. So I want to say they can honestly just go for the exchange off the rip as soon as they get that 100%. But I think they want to take their time. They just want to go for the forces, which is respectable. Go off the spam, go for the 4-man. I think, or maybe just a single man seemed to work in the past. Maybe they can do it again. It's disrespect, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, damage coming out.
Evos dies. This is going to slow down the push from Uncballin't here. Actually, no, it isn't. They're going to pop out. They're going to pop to use in and try and get the exchange. They get the drop. This is massive for Uncballin't. They need to use there and just walk straight in. I mean, this is just unfortunate. The Rat is the last one alive. Will find Wibbly here. Does at least take out the beam for they make it at least as close to even as possible for Rats Are Us. They give them the opportunity to come back in, but the time is even as possible. That's about all you can ask for. Obviously, though, going to be able to find Evos.
That's a fresh pick there. That's going to be a lot of forward aggression. Easily Rats can take forward here. A little bit of a bait coming out from the Throngler. Going to be looking for a pseudo left push from their house, respectively. And oh my god, Throngler just been taken out. Tom Brady pipes across the house but coast to coast. They will still edge the cap there, though. They gotta be very careful. House control's gonna be huge. Mister the bomb, but they're taking it out. Rats hold on the concrete, and they will try to walk back up as soon as they get the buffs. A minute left on the time.
Yeah, there's only... Oh, my goodness! Evos with a nuke drop right there onto the Rat, onto Cool, and onto Ice Shark. That's a 3K right there. Absolutely brutal for Rats R Us. They are not going to be able to push back in for a little while. Have to wait for those players, and they're eating a lot of spam in this doorway. Evos could die? No. Will be able to run away. Uber is now ready for the side of Uncballin't, and I think they're looking to hold on to it for as long as possible. A lot of players on Unk are below half health here. Their health is actually pretty poor. Lap could die in lower, but won't. Evo's going to go down. The Throngler going to be able to find the rocket. Ice Shark dying. Lap dying. Obvison dying as well.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
just players. It's just drop after drop after drop for these players. The Throngler going to have to go away, get a pack here. So I think right now, Rats R Us, they need to make a decision. They drop Cool. They're stalling for far too long. Donk hasn't used yet. They don't have the players. They use on no one. They're too scared to waddle towards the point. They have no one able to touch except for Donk, but it's not enough. They get in too little, too late, and Uncballin't will take home the second round. They're halfway to victory.
Just, why, like, Donk got butterfingers, bro. He just dropped everybody in his team. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just gotta call it way I've seen it. I think Rats just need to use their Uber. I think the exchange there. Every point it's gone to a stalemate in the lobby. The Ubers become even. You might as well just take it. Just Uber's out of the way. If they want to go to the drive fight, they need to do this together. But regardless, third mid, already a lot of damage onto Rat's side. I've been seeing across the board. Evil's like early bomb aggression.
Evos could die here. Oh, wait a minute. It's the reverse pinch. Rat dies trying to take down Evos. Finally gets traded out by Cool, though. But it's a player down for the side of Rats R Us. They need to try and pull back here, especially with... Actually, they need to commit for the beam. I don't know what I'm saying, because Donk has died. They need to try and get in onto Wibbly Wobble, but I don't think they're going to be able to. So they're going to have to back up, regroup now, and try and get a more organized four-man while Donk tries to build in their spawn.
That made us all really well live on one health. That was great surfing by them. Fantastic stuff. But there's going to be a huge ad here. I want to see Rats take the George Foreman here. I'm going to be honest. They're just all spamming around. I don't know what their game planning is here. If they're just trying to go for the single sack, or they just want to wait for the exchange. Again, not a bad idea, but they could be a little bit faster in these plays. I want to see the faster execution, because they're just taking all so much of the lobby. This forward hold is just crushing them. They need to go fast, so just, you know, get the out.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think part of it is they're scared to go towards right because they know the demo has it trapped. Finally, their soldiers rotate over and they see the demo there. Throngler eats a pipe and has to pick up the pack, eats a second one, and they're going to have to back away to get healed. The problem is they spent all of that time building their Uber, 40 seconds just building and trying to go for spam instead of sending in some kind of four-man to maybe get some progress. And again, I think it's because they're scared of bottom right. They only want to push out through concrete, but they never do because there's just so much spam. Rat overextends heavily to get the force, and it is successful, but now they're down a scout. And Rats R Us has to regroup with Obzin being very, very low. Could die to a soldier. Mr. Dead could be able to find Ice Shark, but now this just sets back Rats R Us even further.
This is a huge setback, but not as big as I don't think they think of. I've got the mid and left for Uncballin't, but they do have full decide here. They could just come up with the Uber. Evo took it out early. That's actually it. That's a huge angle to go off of. Uber comes out as it leading the charge. Oh my god, setting those pipes across the mid. Oh, they get Lundas and they get the point. But now, for Dissed.
They have a lap pinched in house. This could be a free scout pick. It's a free demo pick. Generic name brand and lap both going to go down. Getting pinched there. Good collapse from the soldier on Rats R Us. I believe that was Ice Shark there getting those plays. So good heads up decision to push in and make things work in their favor. Finally going to be able to flip that point once again and get some time ticked off. They have to hold this for pretty much 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to really get any, well, I would say 1.5 minutes really, to get any valuable time off of it. But, I mean, the real question is, are they going to be able to? Because we've seen Uncballin't take these really aggressive fights, and they've been successful almost every single time because Rats Are Us. They've got Butterfingers. They keep dropping players. Oh, what a pipe. You know, it's unlock abuse, but nonetheless, it's a great pipe. Threading the needle there, going to be able to find Ice Shark, and that's the key opening point that's going to come through. Oh my goodness!
Oh my god. And Throngler we trust. Rats Are Us. They ain't like us. Rats in 5. I'm calling it right now. I think that shot made me believe in them. I don't care if they're down 2 rounds already. I believe in this team. Red team all the way. I spent 10,000. They better win this out, or else, actually, I think I might as well see the Golden Goddess, if you know what I mean.
Well, it does look like we're going to have Ice Shark bombing forward, trying to get onto Wibbly Wobble. Not a lot of damage coming out, but it does look like Ob isn't going to be the one to clean it up. Finds Lundos as well. Lap going to go down. Now Generic going to go down as they try and send players in to find Donk, but they're just not able to. And that is going to spell the end of that 4-man attempt from Uncballin't. And I really, really like, actually, that they tried to rip it as quickly as possible, realizing that things were not going their way. They realized that pretty much everyone was dead anyway. They just wanted to rip it and try and get some kind of salvage. And we need to see more of that in a situation from Rats Are Us. I think that's going to drastically increase their chances of securing a round or even securing the map here. But I think this is the most time they've had off the clock throughout the entire 3 rounds we've been seeing them play here. Mr. Dead will go down to a trap. Oh, and so will Evos as Cool walks right in, or as Evos rather walks right in to Cool Scattergun.
Setting a 2-for here from Uncballint's side is a bit, I don't want to say it's interesting. Definitely catching me off guard, but it will also catch the rest of Rats as they are sitting backward. I want to notice here, like, Alvason is playing forward towards central, Sen playing hard left here. Interesting choice here, but it could be good. They want to try to bait out those players, the Uber coming out, especially. Oh, Doug! You dumped your Uber, pick it up! No!
This is unreal from Donk. You can't be dropping your players like that, especially when the round you're about to be fighting for right here is the decider on whether or not it goes to match point, because they only play Bagel here. It is a best of 1. So with that drop there, I don't want to say it condemns them to not being able to win, because you can absolutely take a dry fight here. It looks like the Throngler goes in for a garden, is unsuccessful, trades out with Lundaws, but they need to get a lot more bodies on the point and force Uncballin't off. It's going to be a nice pipe from Generic to find Opposite and Cool. Lap goes down to the Rat, but unfortunately, no one is left to touch the point for Rats Are Us. And Uncballin't will set the score to match point 3-0 in their favor. They're looking to close this one out quickly and take home the win, move on to their 4th round.
Actually, I got 10,000 on Rats. You understand this, right?
This is I got 2,500 on Rats as well, but
this is gonna be such an upset. Rats Are Us 3rd seed against the 11th seed team, but now 3 rounds already. The first couple minutes. Hi, called the lands.
Well, I think seeding is also kind of random because it is just group stages, so I think they just throw the teams in. I'm not sure what goes into the seeding procedure of these teams. I think they kind of just throw them together, and whoever plays against whoever is, how it folds out. But maybe it's something different. But that's just brutal for Rats Are Us there, losing 2 Ice Sharks and the Rat.
They tried to go for a Red House shove, but unfortunately the counter aggression was too strong from Uncballin't. They will get another foothold set up, but Ubers even. Donk did live. I want to see Uber exchange off the rip here. They need to go fast. They have no time to waste. It just needs to be taken. I don't care who takes it. Aspen, the Throngler solo Uber gotta be crazy. I'm not gonna
We've
lie.
seen Throngler do some good stuff without even being healed, playing around these packs. Imagine if it seems they're playing around the packs well.
Imagine if Throngler had Uber. Imagine what he could do for Rats Are Us. Oh, I think they heard me.
Oh, there's so much spam. They're too scared to push through the door. You need to just pop through. You can't wait for a pick. You need to go. They find 2 on the side of Uncballin't, and now they're chasing deep as they know they have a lot of damage. But the restraint shown from Lap here, gonna pull away. And Rats Are Us has wasted a minute of time here now, just sitting inside of lobby. They need to go with their Uber. They can pop out from main if they really want to explode out and get into the face of Uncballin't, but they're just so slow. Finally, they use. Gonna be a bomb coming in from Avizin, trying to get some damage onto Wibbly Wobble. Not quite successful. Gonna get some damage, but Wibbly Wobble's just able to run away. Evo's gonna go down. Big bomb comes in from the Throngler. Hits a nice rocket. Not quite an air shot. Does some damage to Generic, but Generic is gonna be able to back away, and so will Wibbly Wobble, and she is going to maintain control of that well, this could be full ad if they build this out properly. The Rat dying as well, so that's going to be a very, very late death.
Lap is just causing havoc in the backline here.
Oh my goodness.
Well, taking out a couple of players. Takes on Donk as well. Full ad yet again from Uncballin't. Retakes the point. Another forward hold in the books. I'm going to be down so much money after this.
There always has to be a loser in gambling, regardless of however much they put in. Unfortunately, I am probably going to be one of those losers. But,
no.
You know, there's always got to be someone who loses something, and Ice Shark commits way too deep, is going to get punished for it. And the Rat, I'm not sure how they died. I'm not sure if they went in too deep or what. But wait a minute, pinch coming in from Mr. Dead, going to be able to find a pick. Could get traded out. Mr. Dead finds a Throngler. The Throngler traders here, I'm pretty sure. This is... I don't know how he gets away with finding two there, but he does.
Wow.
And with 43 seconds and counting left on the clock, they need to do something now on Rats or Us. You don't have time to go for a 4-man, really. You kind of just need to throw yourselves out there.
Mr. Dead should call himself Mr. 1738. The way he ate those 3 on 17 health. As we take that lap, however, Uber comes up for the other side of the map here. Oh, they're dropped. Everybody's being dropped around the Uber.
The problem with their Ubers is that they're so fragmented, they don't know where anyone is during the Ubers. So half of their team walks out concrete during the Rats Uber, and then half walks out through lower. And this is the end of the game here. There's nothing I think that Rats R Us can do to salvage the victory on Bagel. So Uncballin't will be your victors for Bagel. Rats just too slippery of fingers. Got to tighten the grip on your mouse there, and try your hardest to maintain control of those Uber situations. Maintain control of the Uber first and foremost. It's better to use than to drop, because maybe, just maybe, you can even out the situation if you're forced. Especially on Koth, it's much more likely for you to be able to do something like that if you get the force. And I say that because a lot of the times when you are in this newbie situation, a lot of teams will be super aggressive because they think they have to have that like really forward pressure to get the force, and they're not able to pull back as quickly as they should. They're just overcommitted, and it's very easy to, just commit with the force, and maybe you lose someone, maybe you don't. You can definitely get, another force, or at least a counter pop out during your force. But unfortunately, Rats R Us was just a little too timid and didn't really show as much aggression as they needed to, especially in those latter rounds.
Yeah, for sure. I was expecting the game to have more of that edge possession, both teams just trying to play around the fact that, they had both, just playing around the point, playing around those houses. I didn't expect the whole game to be forward from forward, to be honest with you. 90% of the game was just a forward presence, whoever was able to hold the forward more sufficiently, and they to kite out the Ubers better. In the end, a team can beat 6 rats on the keyboard. Can you believe that? I wouldn't. Unless 10,000 was of that. Oh well. I guess I'm not smarter than 5 rats on the keyboard. Well. But yeah.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate as well, because I remember when I played my first ever Newbie Cup, I think it was Newbie Cup 2. Newbie Cup 3 rather. There was a team I actually poached, or actually I think it was my team leader's idea to poach the way our team tag looks with the tiny letters from another team. I think that was called something. I think it was just called the Rats. And unfortunately, this time around, the Rats did not perform. I don't remember how the Rats in my Newbie Cup went, but I think they did pretty well. I think they made it to first round playoffs and then got eliminated, but I'd have to see the bracket or maybe see a rebroadcast to check that out again. But yeah, that's just unfortunate. And we do have the logs. If we just want to take a quick look at those, probably don't want to stay focused on them for too long because they're pretty dominant. Mr. Dead with 22, 4, and 15 performance, going 453 on the DPM. 1.7 KAD, 1.5 KD, almost in line with one another. The Throngler up second with a 422 game, 1.0, 0.8, and that's just going damage positive on Soldier in Koth is an achievement in and of itself because a lot of Koth is just eating spam left and right.
Yeah, shout out to Nick Namebrand and Ice Shark for both air shots on both teams, tied for first. That's a nice one. I saw some. I'll be honest, I didn't expect to see any air shots. The fact that they happened was, it makes me have faith in the newer generation. People, practice your TR walk kids.
And the crazy thing is that every Newbie Cup, I see more and more disgusting plays that look like they do not belong in the Newbie Cup. The average newbie skill level is steadily increasing. And, I'm all here for it, to be honest with you. I am happy to see these guys are just naturally more and more skilled every single time. Because I think that also plays in part to show just how good their coaches are. And how much their coaches are kind of making them do practices, do MGEs, and practice their mechanics and all that. But that said, we are going to throw it to a short break, hopefully short anyway, while we wait for our fourth match to come forward, and we will come back to you on whatever map they pick, because I believe this is a pick ban round.
Yeah. The bracket is live, I think. I'm seeing it right now. So, I think, the challenge link is public, as far as I'm concerned. So, check that out here if you want to see Uncballin't going against Lagiki?
Some of these names are a little interesting, but yeah, we're gonna throw it.
Racing.
Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. But we're gonna throw it to a break, get some water, get some snack, get some drink, and we will be back momentarily to get you some more gameplay of some newbies duking it out.